All right, welcome back to the final regular season week of the trivia competition here on 3 and Out. I am your host, Ryan Kieran. Joining me tonight in a battle for the 3 seed is Brian and Ryan Spagnoli. Palace, how are we doing tonight?
3 out of 4, right? We're battling for the 3 seed out of a
Yep.
4 seed tournament.
Yep.
Okay, there's something to play
you're
for.
looking to avoid Keegan. You're looking to avoid Keegan.
Me and Brian had a good battle last time. I had the ultimate choke job, just like I did in fantasy this past few weeks. So
A lot of people are
I'm
saying
due
I
for
earned that
something.
one.
Yeah, you did. You battled
a
that.
lot of people is Brian and Franklin, Brian's dog. Maybe his wife.
Franklin's
His wife
got my
might be on
back.
board. Yeah. All right, we're gonna keep it tight tonight. Spags is gonna be on another show at about 7:30, so go ahead and check that out when it's time. But we're gonna make sure you can get out of here for it. No recap this week. Obviously, we're coming off the bye week, so we're gonna get right into our preview. And here we go. We have a Saturday night game this week, pals. We got the Patriots going to Indy.
Love it.
9-4 Patriots, 7-6 Indianapolis. Arguably the two hottest teams, two of the three hottest teams in football right now. Probably put these two in Kansas City. 8:15 game on Saturday. It's going to feel like a playoff game. It's on NFL Network. If you're local, it'll be on WBZ. Brian, Spags and I were talking about it a little bit before you hopped on. How do you feel about this game? You were talking about it a little bit on Twitter too.
It's not good in the sense that I feel extraordinarily confident in the Patriots' ability to win in convincing fashion on the road against a pretty decent team. I mean, I really don't see the Colts. I don't see a path to success for them when you're talking about a Bill Belichick defense who, if you run your offense through one guy primarily, he'll kill you. Bill will take you out. And I mean, Jonathan Taylor is the best running back in football this year outside of Derrick Henry, obviously with him on IR. But I mean, they run the ball like crazy. But again, if that's what Bill has to take away, they'll take it away and make Carson Wentz try to beat him. And I don't see it happen.
This game reminds me a little bit, and like maybe the personnel are a little bit different, but it almost reminds me of like 2014-ish Ravens. Like, I don't think they're as tough as them, but it's a team that the record doesn't necessarily, replicate how good of a team they are. I mean, what did Indy start? 1-5, and they had a really tough.
I have it actually. Hang on.
Yeah, they've won
They've won
6
4
out
of
of 7.
5. They've won 4 of 5 and 6 of 8.
They did the same thing last year too, right? I feel like.
So they were 1-4 to start.
I just wondered their game plan, because I wonder if they take a similar approach to kind of the Tennessee game, like or no Sean Moreno years ago. Like, go ahead and run for 200 on us. Like, I don't think they can beat them that way. And the only way I think they can get in trouble is like rollouts, and their RPO package has been pretty pretty efficient for them this year. So we'll see. I like the matchup just because I think it's the first full team where everybody's pretty much healthy for them. They're going to face a really good offensive line. We'll see, how good that front can be for the Patriots. I mean, I'm confident in a win. I just, like we talked about before, like how much longer can they keep this thing going? Like, this is a tough game. This is if you want to get a first round bye, it starts right here. So.
This is a fascinating matchup to me because, in theory, you match up well against the Colts, right? Like you're saying, Brian, they're pretty one-dimensional on offense. The Patriots have arguably the best defense in football, and they excel at taking away your best offensive player. And defensively, the Colts have a defense that can be moved on. They thrive on – they kind of make it up by leading the league in turnovers. They're turnover machines. They lead the league in turnover differential, just ahead of you. And the Patriots are a team that, since the first month or two of the season, has been taking care of the ball. So, in theory, it matches up really well. But since the second that Bills game's ended, I have felt terrible about this game, and I can't shake it. I do not feel good.
You have been, in the DMs, you have been negative as hell about this game.
I can't shake it. I don't have a solid reasoning, but I can't shake it. The best reasoning I can come up with, which is one that I wouldn't even – like I could argue against very easily as well, is that Michael Pittman is the type of receiver that J.C. Jackson struggles with historically. Those tall, go up and get it type guys where he won't even necessarily be out of position, but just size difference, he can get beaten. Devontae Parker's kind of had his number a little bit for similar reasons. If the Colts can force a turnover or two, And then they don't even need to be efficient on offense. If they just get a couple of big plays, 2 drives, if they get 2 drives that get extended by like a Wentz heave to Michael Pittman where he makes an absurd catch that he's capable of making, like I don't know. I feel terrible about this game, and I can't shake it because in a vacuum, I'd be taking the Patriots 10 out of 10 times.
It's so funny. I can understand Colts fans coming at it from the perspective of like, especially, you know, they've been a little bit in my mentions because I tweeted out that I don't think that the Colts have a path to success.
Oh, JV3 is going to be up your ass if they win.
JV3, yeah. I got the Zach Hicks mutuals in the mentions and stuff. And I get it. Like the Colts offense is probably underrated. Like if you look at runningbacksdon'tmatter.com and you adjust for like, you get the win percentage filter, get like 10% win percentage filter. So get the plays, we're non-garbage time.
Yeah.
Success rate against their offensive rushing success rate is 4th in the league. And you'd actually think it'd be higher, but it's 4th in the league. And then you know who's number 1, by the way? Kansas City. Isn't that weird? Yeah, very weird. But they're 20th in success rate in passing success rate. So I mean, it's clear, it's stark. And the funny thing for me is about this matchup is like how similar the two teams are. You have question mark. I mean, from each opposing fan base looking at the other team's offense, you say, well, make that quarterback beat us. And every team playing New England needs to be saying, make Mac Jones beat us. And we know Mac Jones can beat teams. And we've seen the cohesion with the offense come in the last couple of weeks. But thank you, Oliver. Yes, Brian has people annoyed on Twitter. Things happen.
It's a Tuesday. It's a Wednesday. It's a day that ends at 1.
Yeah, but overall EPA per play, they're a top 10 offense. They're 10th in the league.
They're very good. And Carson Wentz has been playing decently lately. Good might even be a little bit of a stretch. They've kind of pared down what they've asked him to do. But he's not playing poorly right now. He's not. I don't trust him to go out and win the game for them, but I'm not coming out and being like, oh, Carson Wentz is gonna play them out of this game the way that like 2 years ago Josh Allen might have been treated.
Right. Like Spags, like if they take away Jonathan Taylor, who worries you the most? Mike Pittman?
That and Belichick talks about it. I think Nyheim Hines is a little bit of an X factor in this game too. I think what he can do to that backfield so underrated, really good, in the passing game. I think he's a big play guy. But other than that, I mean, like I said, I think it starts up front. I think this is probably the best unit they'll face. Offensive line, how can Judon get after him? How are they going to kind of scheme some things up? But yeah, maybe Michael Pittman. I have like really I know you said JC struggles with guys like that. He's answered every question that I've had every year. Like he's a true number 1. He's shut down everybody that's gone against him. I think his worst game was week 1, right? Devontae Parker maybe was probably giving up the most yards.
Devontae Parker kills every Patriot corner. It doesn't matter who they are.
I know Gilmore. But yeah, I mean, I like them going into this game. The fact that they're 2-point dogs though has me a little sketchy. Like, why are they 2-point dogs as number 1 seed?
I think that kind of summarizes how I feel, Spags. Where if you asked me in just in a vacuum, hey, this Patriots team is playing this Colts team. This is how they're playing right now. Each of them, this is the deal. And like it wasn't like actually coming up. You're like, oh yeah, Patriots probably win that. Might be a close game. Patriots probably win it. I just feel absolutely terrible. I know, like, in theory, you enter the season, you're saying there's no way the Patriots take both games off the Bills. Like, you're hoping for a split at best, and they already have the 1. And I know it's not how it works. We're like, okay, they got the 1, which means they're guaranteed to lose in 2 weeks. But it's just, I do think that I would probably pick them to lose in 2 weeks. So if this game is massive. You win this game, and you can
kind of afford to drop one down the stretch.
Yeah, you win this game and you should still walk to the division even if you lose to Buffalo. You lose this game and you have to beat Buffalo. And otherwise, they should take the division.
So, like, when you brought up their offensive line a little bit too, and if we're all on the same page where the goal is going to be to stop John Taylor, stop that running game to the extent that it's possible, to force as many third downs as possible. You can get after these tackles and pass pro. I mean, Eric Fisher is a turnstile.
Eric Fisher's bad. Braden Smith
really, really bad.
I don't know
Interior's
exactly how
good,
he's
though.
been playing this
Kelly,
year, but Braden
Nelson.
Smith's pretty good. Yep.
Yeah.
Lewinsky's
and
having a good year at right guard.
They're going to move you, but I mean, they allow pressure. And Carson will hold on to the football.
I was going to say that as much plays into that as Carson Wentz allows pressure. Too.
Right. So if Carson, I mean, I don't see a scenario in which Carson Wentz plays 4 quarters against this Bill Belichick defense and makes good decisions for during all 4 quarters. There's going to be some lapses. Patriots can take advantage here and there of a couple mistakes, and just the overall athletic mismatches the Patriots defense poses to this offensive skill position group. I mean, yeah, Mo Alley Cox is talented, but he's got 3 catches, I think, or something like that in his last 4 or 5 games. Jack Doyle is Jack Doyle. I mean, Ty is washed.
Himself out.
Right. You know, Zach Pascal and Mike Pittman are your guys, and like you said, Nyheim Hines. But like,
hey, you've listed about their entire offense, and you still have yet to prove that you know Ashton Dulin.
Ashton Dulin.
Who?
Right.
Dulin.
So like, I mean, I can see it being a nasty style of game, and there's going to be some Patriots coaching decisions that infuriate me in this game because they're going to be made just with hey, heck, let's just keep it close and punt. That's going to be a factor.
So Brian, let me
put it this way too. Not to like, they're 7-0 on the road. Like they win this one, you have a really good chance of going. Like I know the Miami games in the past have been tough for this team. And that'll be a tough game. What's that, week 18? Because I think they'll kind of be fighting for the wild card if they continue to do things. And I think that's their last road game, right? Because they got Buffalo and Jacksonville at home. So that's the only thing too, where it's like, are they really about to go undefeated in the road with a rookie quarterback? That'd be insane.
If they have everything they need to wrapped up, well, they probably by week 18 they probably won't.
If you win this game,
1 seed.
If you win this game and if you win the next 2 weeks, you should have the 1 seed pretty much wrapped up. I mean,
to the extent that you can go on the road week 18 in Miami and sit guys.
Yeah. Probably not. I don't know who Kansas City is. Kansas City's got if the Chargers win this week, it's bad. You talked about it. Chargers win this week, you're probably in good shape.
The entire
Titans don't win out. No shot.
The entire AFC has the same record.
Yeah.
I feel like, and then the Patriots have like a 1-game lead.
If you can, so you have. I was looking at it. You have the tiebreaker over the Chiefs, because the first tiebreaker for seeding non-division is conference record, and they are 500 against the conference. You're 7-1, so you only drop 1 more game here. You have that tiebreaker over them. So if they lose to the Chargers and you split these games, you should be walking. Or if they drop 1. And you win out to the Miami game, you could have that locked up. I don't even know who the Titans play. Titans aren't going undefeated. Colts are going to have a shot at this division before week 18 is over.
Schedule.
Right. I'm gonna move us along here just so that we can stay on pace. Segments might end up dragging out a little bit here. We can circle back at the end. Titans, who they got?
Real quick.
Yep.
They got at the Steelers. Then quick turnaround.
They might lose that game. The Steelers stink. That seems like a game the Titans would lose.
Yeah, I mean the Titans could lose that game very easily. The Titans can lose a lot of games very easily, in my opinion. They've got Titans at Titans.
They have Indy again.
Hosting 49ers on Thursday night.
It's a tough game.
Yep. Host the 49ers on Thursday
49ers,
night.
by the way, only 1 loss on the season that isn't to their division. They're like 6-1 outside of the division.
And your boy Jimmy G is now 34-13 as a starter. So.
And then they host the Dolphins in week 17.
Debo Samuel might be the best player in football, any position.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad every time we watch him. Every time we watch him, I get so angry.
Could you imagine him in this offense?
AJ Brown was my dad.
Debo's the best fit out of all those
Debo was born to be a Patriot, and they said, I want spectacular wide receiver.
What did he go Didn't he go 15 33 picks later?
Yeah, not even. It was 33. He was the first pick of the second pick of the second round. I think it was 34. And then AJ Brown was
I can't talk about it. I can't talk about it anymore.
All right, let's move on. Let's get into segments here. We'll get on to second down. We got a 6-pack for you guys. This is gonna be a 6-pack of questions. I'm gonna be asking you guys. I'll chime in with my answers. Some of them I've stolen from conversations we had last week Last week went way off the rails, and people seem to enjoy it. Just try to pull some of those in. But yeah, so I'll ask the question, and then we'll go across the screen. So Brian and Spags. So in the holiday spirit, Brian, what is the best gift you've ever given or received? You can give one of each, or just pick one.
Oh man, the best. Oh man, I don't know about all time, but anniversary last year. Me and my wife's anniversary last year. Is this for Christmas?
No, anything. And it just in the holiday gift giving spirit.
Before COVID, we had this big trip planned out. We wanted to go to Thailand for like 2 weeks. Saved up all the vacation, everything. We were going to go in the winter of 2019 or the winter of 2020. Sorry, and then 2020 happened.
Yeah.
And so on our anniversary last November, my wife was at work at the office. I turned the whole house into Thailand. I had a Bangkok. We were going to go to Bangkok, then Chiang Mai, and then Phuket in the three destinations in Thailand. So I turned the kitchen into a Bangkok street food place. I blacked out all the windows and stuff and put lights and got Thai food. And then I made the stairs to the basement a jungle, like a zip line jungle. And then Phuket, I turned the basement into a beach. And then I got
was this pre-dog too? Pre-puppy? It had to be.
This is absolutely pre-puppy. Yeah. And then I got what's the Cameo app. Mm-hmm. And I got people from her favorite Bravo shows to wish us a happy anniversary on the TV in our Phuket beach.
What a king. That's how you treat your wife, pals.
I would have never thought of that, Brian.
Wife guy. Noted wife guy, Brian Phillips.
Big wife guy. That was a great answer. All right, Spags, best gift you've ever given or received. Good luck following that up.
Yeah, I'm stuck, but it's just the background of this is pretty much my seats for it. I think it was my sophomore year of college. My girlfriend surprised me the day of. It was came up in my memories the other day. I think it was 5 years ago. Front row seats of the Patriots Ravens the year 2016, actually, the year they won the Super Bowl. Justin, who was it? Jesus. I'm drawing a blank. Who was the guy? Terrell Suggs. Came up, taunting the crowd, literally right in front of us, flexing at us, like everyone's screaming at him. And that was the same end zone.
Boston Spags, you're going to hell, Suggs.
And then it was right in the end zone.
Allegedly, Terrell Suggs. So
right in the end zone where Malcolm Mitchell caught that touchdown, and he literally celebrated right in front of us. Rest in peace, his playing career. He was awesome. Loved him. So that was pretty cool. That was a great game too. Brady threw for 4 touchdowns, 450 yards. Yeah, it was ball didn't hit the ground all day.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. I talked about it last week, so I'll spare my answers to be quick, but this was one. I had looked at getting this for myself. I ultimately decided on being responsible, and then my dad got it for me for Christmas. It's a signed Tatum, Brown, Kemba. Hasn't gone up yet because I need to paint my loft, and now Kemba is obviously not on the Celtics, so I never even got to put it up while I played for them. But Kemba is one of my favorite players of all time, even before he came to the Celtics. So still.
Yeah, you've always been a big Kemba guy.
Yeah. Ever since UConn. All right. Question number 2. This was also inspired from last week. What is your favorite Boston sports title? Which one sticks out the most to you?
Brian, oh, man. January or February 2015, that Super Bowl against Seattle, man. Super Bowl 49.
Love it.
Maybe because it's recent enough, but it's also, man, I don't know. I don't know how you take that over. How do I take that over Super Bowl 51 though? Or any of
yeah, I mean that's number 1 for me. I think 1A, 1B. 1B for me is the Bruins in 11.
Yeah.
Just because they hadn't won in 39 years. That's still the only one they've won. And that team was just if you can remember, so much fun to watch.
That was young.
That was
Brad
the last physical,
But I don't know how I can leave
off the Montreal crowd. That team was awesome.
I don't know how I can leave the Sox in 04 out. It's the greatest. That whole 2-week stretch was oh man, that was
we're about the same age too. That Seahawks Super Bowl is the perfect age to be celebrating.
Yeah, because we grew up watching. I don't know. I was
Like I have memories of all of the
I was 9, I
each
think,
of the
when
first
they
3
went.
Super Bowls.
Yeah,
have
I was
memories
9
of.
the last one, the Philly one, and then
Yeah.
like you just start to understand what's going on, and they lose
Yep.
to the Giants twice. So you're like,
exactly.
wow, and you're just not used to it.
Yep.
You
I was in
know?
8th
And then
grade in 2001, so I am the resident old here
Mhm.
on the panel. So I got all of it, but I can't imagine like what growing up, like being like where you're just really starting to get into ball.
Yep.
And then you have the chasm.
Yep.
Between So
Yep. I have memories of all of like every title that was like early on. I have memories of watching, but obviously I didn't understand what was really going on other than we win.
Right.
Yeah, 07 was about the time, like Spag was saying, where I can really like be invested week to week, be able to like process what's going on throughout a season, and then they lose the undefeated season.
quick before you go to the next
yeah.
one, that was the first year I played fantasy football, and I joined my dad's league for his work. They needed an extra guy, and I drafted like my first 3 picks are Brady, Moss, and Welker, and everyone was like,
That
"What the
works.
hell? You get your kid in here," and I literally went undefeated the whole year. I think I had like Adrian Peterson too. That was his rookie year. Like I smashed this draft, and I just drafted guys.
It was like
I liked.
you versus whoever had like Brian Westbrook in
Yeah.
the championship.
Like my first 3 picks are Brady, Moss, and Welker. I don't think I lost a game.
No.
Maybe the bye week. That was it.
Yeah.
Insane.
Mine, we talked about it at length last week. It was my first overall pick in the championship draft. No one agrees with me, but I got to stick true to myself. The 2018 Red Sox is the best baseball team I've ever seen. Again, it was another one like perfect age for me. Mookie Betts is my favorite athlete, any sport, all time. So that one holds a special place for me forever. All right, question number 3. What is your favorite music artist or group?
Music artist or group? I've always been, since like college, I've always been a big Dave Matthews guy. Big, doing the concerts, doing the shows.
I could see that vibe.
Festival guy, and when I was younger.
I could see that.
I don't know. Yeah, that's probably who I'd say.
I like all genres. Like I listen to literally everything, but I'd have to go Luke Combs. I saw him in concert a few weeks ago. That guy's awesome.
Nice.
He's unreal. Great show.
Yeah, I don't have a good answer for this. I'm like you. I listen to just about everything. I don't have a good answer for this. So I will say the last concert I went to was Harry Styles, and dude is absolutely electric. I ended up getting free tickets. So I big Harry Styles fan, period. I was seeing what it would cost for me and my girlfriend to go. Way too expensive. Day of the concert, my dad texted me. He had gotten my sister tickets for her and her friend like a year and a half before it got delayed due to COVID and all that. And he texted me. He's like, their ride for the show backed out. I had gotten their ride an extra ticket. Do you want a free ticket to just bring them in? I was like, hell yeah. Dude's an electric factory.
So it was you and like 12,000 women.
Oh, yeah. I think I was the only straight man there, except for like a handful of boyfriends. But yeah, it was me, my 18-year-old sister, her friend, and then
future wife guys.
Yep.
Those boyfriends.
Yep. Absolutely. Electric concert. Dude rules. Okay. Favorite and least favorite food?
Man, this fluctuates. Barbecue pulled pork sandwiches.
Great.
Elite. Yep. Tough to have a bad one. When you have a good one, it makes your month. Least favorite food. I mean, it's not offensive. It's not like a bad food, but I don't like tomatoes on hamburgers. Like for some reason, it's all I can taste. It's even though it's not that powerful of a flavor, it's all I can taste when it's a fresh tomato is on a hot sandwich.
I trained myself to like tomatoes because I used to hate them. I'd just start throwing them in like everything, just like a little bit until I got used to them. I'm a big fan now.
I'm the same way with like salads or like tacos, like pico and stuff. But then but I still, if for some reason it's that freshness, that pop of freshness is all I can. It's like the only thing I can taste. Might as well
overpowers
be
the
just
burger.
a tomato.
What do you do pickles on tomato burgers?
I actually do not.
Okay, because that feels like a similar thing where it probably stands out enough that it pops out.
I try not to, but then if you do get rid of the pickles, you have nothing that's cut. Unless it's a good burger with some flavor balance going on, you have nothing cutting it. It's just straight to the dome, thick, like richness.
Yeah. All right, Spags, favorite, least favorite food.
Chicken parm, and I'm with Brian.
Okay.
Tomatoes, don't like them at all.
All right,
Terrible.
Chicken parm is elite.
that is a great
Whoa.
selection. Absolutely.
I love chicken parm.
We going. You go sub or you go like on the pasta.
Anything, but
Either
I'll take the pasta.
you'll take
like
the
I
pasta.
prefer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm with it. My favorite food probably shepherd's pie. Good shepherd's pie.
Yeah, I love a good shepherd. I haven't had shepherd's pie in forever. That's such a New Hampshire answer.
Yeah. I usually.
God, I'm hungry now. Let's go.
I usually make it about once a year because good homemade mashed potatoes are such a pain to make. So I usually only do it about once a year, but it's always, you wait till like January. It's like 12 degrees and there's a foot of snow outside. Can't beat it.
Have it for like 4 days.
Yeah, exactly. Can't beat it. Least favorite food. I'm probably forgetting one, but right now all that's on my head is get olives all the way out of here.
Get them out. Get them out of here.
All the way gone.
You know what? That probably is a better answer for the context of the question. Olives are
Terrible.
utter trash.
I used to work at a pizza place, and I would have visible reactions every time I had to throw olives on a pizza. Disgusting.
All my buddies love them too. They go somewhere. They're like, oh, they got like an olive sampler. Let's eat these whole olives.
Disgusting.
Get out.
Disgusting. Spags, your face. I feel like you're an olive guy.
I'm not. No.
Okay. All right.
I don't hate him as much as you, but I won't generally eat them. You know.
We got Oliver saying cannot beat Indian food. The Indian food's really good. Any Asian food.
Yeah.
Do you guys? All right. I'm gonna throw Italian out, and I'm gonna throw Mexican out. Do you have like an American? Like, is there like a foreign cuisine that you guys are all about? I'll kind of give myself the example. Hibachi, that's a good one. I love Mediterranean food. Mediterranean food rules. Like Greek food, like Egyptian food, anything in that whole area. Absolutely.
For me, it's a tie between like sushi and like authentic Thai food.
Mm.
Like more authentic, not like Americanized.
Right.
But around
like what
here
you should have been able to go get.
Yeah. Around here in Columbus, there's a huge Japanese population because there's a big Honda plant here. And they, for whatever reason, they're a big Japanese population, great sushi selection around here. Maybe not the freshest fish in the world, but at least we got some creative sushi guys around here. So, and my wife's huge into the sushi. So I've gotten deep into the scene.
Spags, you said hibachi. Yeah, that's a good choice too. All right. Question. What are we at? Question number 5. If you could pull one player in history from any sport and place the rookie version of them onto your favorite team right now, who would you pick? Retired player. We'll say retired.
Randy Moss.
Randy Moss. Love it.
That's a really good one. I'll go Bo Jackson, but like either sport. I want to see that in person.
Take both. Put them in the outfield and put them at running back. A trio of Damian Harris, Bo Jackson, and
Ramondre.
Just running people
angry
over.
boys
Absurd.
running the ball.
Yeah. This probably isn't the best answer in terms of like making the team better, but I think like prime Rajon Rondo with the Jays would be a ton of fun. Just get someone that get a distributor that can play solid defense, get some steals, get going in transition, take a little bit of the load off for them while they develop as playmakers. I think it'd be a ton of fun. Before, the report came out, the Jays have a year left and then Jalen's out of here.
Also, if Barry Sanders was running behind this Patriots offensive line, he'd be hands down the greatest player in the history of American sports.
Mm-hmm.
He played behind that goddamn Detroit Lions line, and like, I remember watching it week after week, and my stepdad just angry in his recliner, just like, ah.
In the same vein, you think you take like, I guess it's rookie, but like Darrelle Revis or Ty Law and throw him across from J.C. Jackson right now? You kidding me?
Fair.
Incredible. All right. Question number 6 before we get to our draft. Guilty pleasure. Was your number one guilty pleasure?
I have got a recent one that I've gotten into, and it is, God, this is nerdy, man. PGA 2K21.
Hell yeah.
I am deep into the designer community.
Making the courses?
My buddy made Augusta. My buddy made Augusta national.
Making the courses. Getting deep into into the architecture, design, the
slope,
mechanics
all
of
that.
the game, and how they show on other consoles. Entering contests, I published my first one, and it got a tour-worthy approval
Hell
by
yeah.
TGC Tours. Mackinac Point Club. Anybody out there looking to get a game in? It's got a bunch of plays already. It might get on a tour here over the course of the next year. And I'm working on my first design course for the rookie contest. So I'm very excited about that.
Hell
Guilty
yeah.
pleasure.
All right,
I'll stay
Spags.
on the video game train. MLB The Show, pretty much the only game I play, and I get into it, man. I get deep in those
what
DMs
modes we talking?
chirping. Yeah, like, what are you saying?
What modes we talking about? We doing Diamond Dynasty, Road to the
Diamond
Show?
Dynasty.
Diamond
Diamond Dynasty. I got like 400 games played since it came out in March. It is literally the only game I play whenever I have time, and I get competitive, man. Like, bad.
Oliver, coming with it.
I got into Diamond Dynasty, so I've been like Mutt, Fut, all those like card-based games that has been around for like a decade now. I never could get into them. I got super into Diamond Dynasty for a little bit this year. I got that full team maxed out. I got
Babe Ruth.
Yeah,
like,
I was basically going for like all of the like childhood favorites. So I had like Barry Larkin, Albert Pujols, Griffey, Pedro was I think I had 2 Pedros. And then I was like, oh yeah, it's time to take this online.
I did collect baseball cards like religiously as a kid, so I think that's just like the online version to it. You had to use them, you know what I mean? So I love it.
Yeah. My guilty pleasure. I don't think guilty pleasure is a right way to phrase this, because I set it up to frame you guys a little bit, but things that I'm into, I don't generally feel guilty about, right? But one that I think would surprise people more, although maybe less so after I just said I went to a Harry Styles concert. Big Swiftie, giant Taylor Swift fan. Matt, like could tell you like every song and every album Taylor Swift.
So you big into Nora's pod?
Oh yeah, every single album.
Hey, Mac Jones is a known T Swift guy. He said on the radio this week. Big time T Swift guy.
All right, here's the guilty pleasure part that I would feel a little bit embarrassed about. Like 2 months ago, I was on a bigger than normal Taylor Swift kick, and I was trying to think with her like re-records coming out, was trying to think of how I'd rank her albums. So I went back and listened to them all to do a rankings, decided that it was too close, and ended up ranking every single song she's ever come out with so that I could rank every album she's ever come out with. I have this banging spreadsheet, color-coded, formulas set up. Brian, I ask you like Excel
questions. This is what I'm talking
questions.
about.
I ask you Excel questions every once in a while. Any question I've asked you over the past 2 months had to do with making that spreadsheet better.
Like the one where you asked if you could automatically apply a color without running a macro.
Yep. Color code the album. Color code the songs based on what album they're on. So yeah, that spreadsheet I do feel a little bit guilty about, because I've put probably like 15 hours into it. Okay, that was the 6-pack, and we will get into our favorite Patriots draft now. So I'm going to get a list randomizer up. It's going to work just like all our other drafts, 5 rounds. Obviously, last week's was 4 because there's 12 championships that we did, but we'll do 5 rounds. It's going to snake. It's just going to be your favorite Patriots of all time. So, obviously, there's a little bit of gamesmanship with it, but your goal is to take the best players or your favorite players, and I'm going to make one rule. Tom Brady is not selectable. He's above it. He's just above. Gronk is right on the borderline, but I'll leave him in there. We'll see.
I was going to say we need to have a conversation about Gronk.
Okay. Do you guys want him in or out? I'll leave it up to you.
No, I'll leave him in.
Leave him in? All right.
Okay.
Spags, he might be your first overall pick. You're going to be picking first. Brian will be second, and I will be third. Give me 1 second because I'm going to set up the document with the order so I can hopefully put this out in a poll later.
If like Brian takes someone, I can't take him.
Right, exactly. Yep, okay. It's a draft. So it's a little bit harder than what we did last week, where we were just listing them because you can't overlap. So someone might be your favorite player, but if you think your number one favorite player, but if you think they slip, it might make sense to try to save them.
Right, and we're not. Now, set in the context here, we are not drafting for successful team.
No, just favorite players, coolest players, whatever defines favorite to you. You could take.
If anything, I think you draft. I'm drafting like against trying to set up a team. I'm drafting.
It could be whatever you want. Like
right.
I'm gonna say we talked about least favorite players a little bit too last week. Gary Guyton. To hell with Gary Guyton. But if Gary Guyton's your favorite player, throw him on there. You know what I mean?
To hell with Gary Guyton.
Hell with Gary Guyton.
That
was the first
that's the
dude.
tweet we're sending out.
That was the first dude I remember growing up being like, I hate that guy. I hate
this. Get him out of here.
Mm-hmm. It was Julio Lugo, rest in peace, for the Red Sox, and it was Gary Guyton for the Patriots. All right. So Spags, I'm gonna pull you over here because you're picking first, and then Brian goes second, and I'm third. So now we'll just be going around and then snaking back. So what is your first overall pick, Spags?
Randy Moss, no question.
Great pick. Great pick. Brian?
I'm really, really worried you're going to take him. So, I mean, it's probably a reach in any normal draft, but give me Dion Lewis.
Love it.
I'm taking Dion Lewis over Rob Gronkowski.
Rob Gronkowski also won't be either of my picks here. I'm going to go. I'm gonna start with who I listed as my favorite Patriot of all time last week, and that's Devin McCourty.
Yeah,
love Devin McCourty, my king. And then I'm gonna go a little bit further down my board because I think I might be able to get a couple of these other ones here. I'm gonna go Big Vince. Give me Vince Wilfork here. He wasn't initially on my top 5 when we did the list last week, and then we started talking about him. I was like, no, he's got to be on my top 5. So I moved it around.
That's an elite pick.
Vince Wilfork's gonna be my second pick here. I'm hoping that I can get. I might have lost out on someone I had a little higher, but I'm hoping I can get a couple of them coming back to me here. All right, Brian, what is your second pick?
And I go back-to-back running backs. It's tough. Like my childhood, I remember becoming cognizant of Patriots football, and 1996 was a big year for that. For me.
I'm already writing it in. Say the name.
I'm not gonna go Curtis Martin.
Oh, okay, all right.
I'm gonna go with Terry Glenn.
Okay.
Terry Glenn was the man. The fact that Bill Parcells hated him made me love him more, and also R.I.P. Terry.
Yep. Big
but wore that 88 with pride. Yep. Just the most elite wide receiver number you can wear, and the dude was filthy. He was absolutely filthy.
Mm-hmm. Spags. So a pick for the olds there, Brian.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Julian Edelman and James White.
That was one that I was hoping would slip.
Blanco off the board.
Yep. That was who I was debating between when I took Big Vince anyway. My strategy's not working out here. All right, Brian, pick number 3.
Oh, I know. See, the problem with Richard Seymour is I was old enough to take in football, understand football, cheer on football, follow a season. I was not old enough to understand how good Richard Seymour was when he was doing what he was doing. So I can't take him here. So I'm going to go with Dante Hightower.
That's a very solid pick.
Dante Hightower is
he's just like we talk about him all the time, but he still is just quietly so good.
So good. And he's been dog. He's always
how
dog.
good he is, but he's still just so good.
I mean, and he's been doing it for so long.
Yep.
I remember when he's coming out in 2012, and it was like he clocked. He was like 270 pounds running like the sideline to sideline range he had at 270. It was just like, what is going on here?
Yep.
Absolutely that's my pick.
All right, I thought I could get James White to fall. I was prepared to lose my number 3, but my number 3 and my number 4, I'm going to be able to get 4 of my top 5 here. I'm going to go with who, in my opinion, is the coolest player in Patriots history, and that's Ty Law. Might be second to Randy Moss.
That was my next guy.
That's the top 2. Ty Law, absolute king. I was telling them last week, I got my dad for Christmas a framed, authentic, hand-signed picture of his pick 6 at the Rams Super Bowl. Is so clean. Is easily the gift I'm most excited about giving this year.
Man.
And then with my second pick, I'm going to go my first favorite player ever, and that is Kevin Falk. Kevin Falk was my absolute dude. Just got let go by LSU. Ivan Fear is going to be retiring soon. Bring him in. Make him the running backs coach.
Why not?
Number 4, Brian.
I'm afraid I'm going too many 90s Patriots. I've already got Terry Glenn. Lawyer Malloy was a boss, man.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Lawyer Malloy.
We had an extensive conversation about him last week. That's a good pick.
I want that man on any team I ever draft. I
believe
want
he made
Malloy.
Pat's list, or Keegan. I believe he made Keegan's list last week.
The dude was a boss.
Spags, picks number 4 and 5. Finish out your draft here. You got Randy Moss, Julian Edelman, and James White. No Gronk. Gronk's still off the board.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Dante Hightower.
Nope.
Every Super
Nope.
Bowl.
Already took him.
He's gone.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I took him.
All right, I'll go with my 5th one then.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Stephon Gilmore. I loved him here. I
love that.
You have to take a corner. They've always had since Talib came in. They've always had an elite corner, like number one. And then for my last one, I got to go with Vinatieri, man. How can we leave him off? Like, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Vinatieri.
I knew Pat was gonna love this.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a good pick. It was insane to me that, like, once we got to the point where, like, Steven Gostkowski had more career Patriots points for the Patriots than Vinatieri, and Vinatieri had more points for the Colts than he did for the Patriots. Like, that just broke my brain once we reached that point. All right, Brian, finish the draft off. Well, finish your draft off. I have one more pick.
I mean, this is the hardest thing I've ever done on this show. Like, one of the things I've ever done in general. Man, I don't want to take Gronk because it's too obvious. It's not taking Gronk is not in the spirit of what this draft is. And so because of that, I don't know how to pick any. I don't know how to pick against any of these guys. I know it's a lot of dead air, and he wasn't here very long, but man, Adam Butler was my dude.
Sure was. He absolutely was your dude.
I can't let him go. Come home, Adam.
I respect it. All right, I have to go off my board. I thought there was a chance I could get my entire top 5 into this list, but I have to go off my board here, so I'm also going to be feeling a little dead air for a minute. I loved running backs. I was a running back. They were always my favorite.
Garrett's out there for you. Curtis is out there for you.
You know who's out there
Danny
for me?
Woodhead's out there
for me, and I'm not going to take him, but who would probably be my pick of the group? Stephen Ridley.
Yeah, Ridley. You love Ridley.
I have Stephen Ridley jersey still hanging in my closet.
If you pick Malcolm Brown, I'm leaving.
I'm gonna go. We mentioned him earlier. We mentioned him earlier in this draft. He was my dude. He was my dude before the draft. He was my dude. I ran through my girlfriend's house screaming when the Patriots drafted him in the 4th round. I felt vindicated during that 2016 second half of the season into the playoffs run. And then his knees just absolutely fell apart. Give me Malcolm Mitchell.
Good pick.
Elite children's book writer. Should have been the best wide receiver ever drafted by the Patriots, talent-wise. Obviously, Edelman's career here might not stack up to that, but he was going to be a absolute stud.
A guy I'm really surprised that didn't get drafted, James Devlin.
And I should have threw Mac Jones on there if we're talking about draft guys that you like.
Yeah,
because I was the only one at the pulpit that liked him. It seemed like
sure.
You're big in there. You're big on the Mac train.
Yep.
But I liked Wilson too, and he's broken. But we were all on the Fields train.
Yep. I still think Fields will end up good. Wilson stinks. I'd take Davis Mills moving forward over Zach Wilson at this point.
Terrible fit. Terrible system.
It's
Poor
too
kid.
early.
In fairness,
too early.
Is it too early if he's on the Jets? If
it was too early, if that's the case, if we're bringing that into it, it was too early before they took him.
Yeah, it was too late the moment he got drafted.
Yeah, it's the Jets.
I'm cool with having that logic. All right, folks, it's trivia time. The winner of this game gets the 3 seed, takes on Pat. Hopefully next week. It is Christmas week next week, so the timing of these semifinal matchups this coming week and the one after are a bit unfortunate. We might have to be creative with the time, but the goal is going to be the winner of this takes on Pat next week, and the loser will take on Keegan the week after, and then the championship will be week 18. We'll see how it goes though. So everyone watching, Yeah, Pat, I'm with you. Everyone watching, check Twitter, check Pat's Pulpit Twitter, my Twitter. I'll keep you updated on the on what we're looking like for sure for show times and dates. All right, let's get into it though.
Let's do it.
Spags, as the current lower seed, you get the coin flip. So call it in the air, heads or tails. 3, 2, 1.
Heads.
It is tails. Brian, you want the ball or are you going second?
Give me the ball.
You want the ball? All right, we're gonna switch you guys
I want
back
the ball.
around.
We're gonna score.
We got 30 seconds on the clock. All right. Anyone who might be new, here's how it works: 6 rounds. Each player is going to get a round, so 2 questions per round. You get 30 seconds to answer your own question. You get it right, you get a point. You get it wrong, your opponent's going to have 10 seconds to steal. They get it right, they get a point. After 6 rounds, whoever has the most points wins. We have if we have a tie, it goes to overtime. I believe you guys participated in our first overtime.
Was that the one? Yeah, I got my.
Or it might have been
well.
Spags Keegan. I think it was Spags Keegan was our first overtime. But you both have participated in overtime back-to-back weeks. Brian, you went to overtime against Dave, audience representative Dave.
I'd rather not talk about it.
Spags, you're a Michigan guy, right?
I am. Big Blue.
The week that Michigan beat Ohio State, Brian lost because he forgot that Michigan beat Ohio State. As a Michigan fan,
they asked how many times they'd won this millennium, and I said 3.
I wouldn't know
because it still hadn't registered for me.
Yeah, see,
they won.
I would say arguably worse than not knowing it, Spags. He knew and he counted all 3 previous, but he forgot to count the past Saturday.
Right, because I still am not quite sure it happened.
All right, let's get into it. Round 1 is the matchup. After a weird bye week categories, we're back to the normal format. Matchup: New England versus Indianapolis. Brian, you'll have 30 seconds on the clock from the time I finish reading the question.
All right.
The Patriots and the Colts have played 13 times in the regular season since the Colts left the division in 2002. How many of these matchups have the Colts won?
They have won 4 of them.
Final answer?
Final answer.
You're off to a hot start, Brian. You're on the board. That's the answer is 4. Yeah,
I was 2005, and I was guessing
2005, 2006, 2008, and 2009. A couple of back-to-back stretches, 4 times in 5 years. That was it, though.
Peyton Manning during that stretch was like
absolutely unreal.
Yeah, it was like Michael Jordan level.
Yep. All right, Spags, you need to keep pace here. 1-0 Brian early on. The Patriots and the Colts have played 5 times in the playoffs. How many of those matchups did the Patriots win by at least 3 scores, which I'm defining as 17 points, which is the correct definition?
They lost 1. 4.
Final answer?
Yes.
That is incorrect. Brian, sweep the first category with the 2-0 lead.
3.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Yeah, that was tough. I had a feeling it was going to be between 3 and 4. It is
3 or 4, dude, because they lost 1. Yep. The Deflategate game.
Yep.
The game Manning threw 3 picks. And what was the other one?
It was 2004, they won by 17. 2003, they won by 21. In 2014, the Deflategate game, they won by 38.
Yeah, back-to-back years in 03-04, Peyton they gave it to him.
Yep. Yeah, the 03 was the other win. I think they won by 10.
Oh, see, yeah, I thought that was that the snow game too? That was only, wasn't it like?
That was 2004.
Yep.
It was like 17-6 or something.
It was 20-3 was the 2004 game. I think the 2003 game was 17-7 or something like that.
Okay. All right.
Something in that range. All right. 2-0. Still early, those Spags. I think you came back from 2-0 on Brian before. We had some correct answers in the chat there. All right. Round 2 is Christmas movies. Christmas movies. Brian, to extend your lead here, which of these movies is not in the 5 highest grossing Christmas movies of all time? Elf, A Christmas Carol, the 2009 version, or The Grinch, 2018 version?
Elf.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Brian wants that 3 seed. It is 3-0, folks.
It was more of a
3-0
cult
early.
classic after the fact, I feel like.
It is 3-0.
Let's go, baby.
Spags.
When has a lead ever dissipated on me?
And never. Spags, to keep pace, same question. Which of these movies is not in the top 5 highest grossing Christmas movies? Home Alone, the first one, The Santa Claus, or The Polar Express?
Because it's my favorite, I'm going to say Home Alone.
Final answer?
Yep.
That is incorrect. Brian, for the 4-0 lead, 4 questions in, 10 seconds.
Man, people were wild about the Polar Express. I'm going to go with Santa Claus.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Oh, Spags, this is tough. This is tough. It was Santa Claus. I liked the process there, Spags.
Because
Animated
if I like
movies-
it, no one else will type of thing. That's why
Yeah.
I went with it.
Animated movies are like always a safe bet to just cross off right away. They always make bank even if they're
They
bad.
kill because you bring groups of kids.
Yeah,
the moms
exactly.
bring all of them. They all
Yeah.
come out.
All right, 4-0. This is already round 3. This is an important round because after this, there's only 6 questions left. Brian sweeps this category again, and he's already looking at overtime. This is a big one. All right, Brian, for a 5-0 lead. Rank these Colts running. The category is the Colts. Rank these Colts running backs from the most rushing touchdowns as a Colt to the least. Joseph Adai, Donald Brown, and Marlon Mack. I need all 3 in order from most to least.
Brown, Adai, Mack.
Final answer?
Final answer.
And I'm just going to repeat it back. It was Brown, Adai, Mack. That is incorrect.
Yep.
Okay, that is incorrect. Spags, 10 seconds to get back into this game.
What was Brian's answer? Quick.
Brown,
Had
Adai,
it.
Mack.
Mac. Adai, Mac, Brown.
Final answer?
Yep.
That's huge, Spags. You're on the board. Here we go.
Brian's
never,
sneaky there.
Brian has never seen a 4-point lead sneak away, right, folks? All right, Spags, sweep the category back, and this is a wide open ball game again. Rank these Colts tight ends from most receiving touchdowns to least. Dallas Clark, Dwayne Allen, and Jack Doyle.
Dallas Clark, Doyle, Allen.
Final answer?
Yep.
That is massive, Spags. What a round. What a round.
We're fine. We're fine over here. We're doing fine.
Spags is cool in the face of pressure. Brian, history melting down. That's all I'm saying. All right. Round 4. The NBA. I don't think either of you guys are NBA
Perfect.
experts.
This should go really
going
well.
for a middle ground here. Middle ground of maybe a little bit of lack of knowledge here. All right. Which of these players has the most career points scored? Tim Duncan, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce. I just need the most. I don't need a list like the last one.
Tim Duncan.
Final answer.
answer.
Brian keeps his composure. Quick answer right back on the board. It's close though, I will say. That's a closer one than you might think. Spags, to keep pace again. Which of these players has the least career 3-pointers made? Vince Carter, Dirk, and LeBron James.
LeBron, you're trying to trick me.
Final answer?
Yep.
That is incorrect. Brian, for the steal and to get dormied.
Dirk, final answer.
We're looking at least overtime, folks. Brian is on the precipice. Of not blowing it.
I want Pat Lane.
He wants Pat Lane. He'd be looking at a next week matchup with Pat Lane.
Some would argue, is Brian looking ahead?
Pat, I'm curious. Did you think the 3-pointer one was an easy one, and then you said Vince Carter, which he has the most, or were you saying the Tim Duncan one's an easy one? I'm gonna give him a second to answer because I'm curious. I have numbers there.
I knew it wasn't going to be Vince because Vince Carter is still playing NBA basketball. I'm pretty sure
he is not. He retired like 2 years ago.
That's not true. He is playing. He will be playing for years to come.
So Pat said it's easy, but Tim Duncan is 15th all time in scoring. Paul Pierce is 16th. Kevin Garnett's 18th. Tim Duncan had 26,496 career points scored. Paul Pierce had 26,397. So he was 99 points behind.
I wasn't even.
And then Kevin Garnett
KG
was 26,071, which was only about 500 behind. And then for the three-pointers, Vince Carter is 6th all-time in three-pointers. LeBron James is 11th, and Dirk is 13th. Vince had 2290. LeBron, as of Monday night, has 2023, and Dirk had 1982. All right, Brian, it's the Patriots. It's round 5. You get this right, you win. Spags gets this wrong after you get it wrong, you win. Spags needs every single question from here on out to force overtime and a matchup with his co-host, Pat Lane. Although, if he loses, his matchup is also with the co-host. So, all right, Brian, category is the Patriots. You have 30 seconds once I finish reading the question. Who were the 2 outside linebackers on the Patriots all 2010s team?
Okay, outside linebackers.
Outside linebackers.
Are they classifying?
If you can ask me if a player qualifies, and I will say yes or no.
Dante Hightower, does he qualify as an outside linebacker?
He would be inside.
Jamie Collins is an outside linebacker.
Correct.
I'm
going to limit this to like 3 so that we can't narrow it all the way down. But
right, that's fair. I'm going to say Jamie Collins and Rob Ninkovich.
That is incorrect. Spags to stay alive. 10 seconds. Need 2.
Oh, they're gonna. Oh, dang it.
Ninkovich.
Needed in 3.
Job.
2.
Jones.
Finally, I need to take it. That is incorrect.
What would he class? I know he's like an edge guy.
Jones. I think he was defensive end. It was Rob Ninkovich and Kyle Van Noy.
Van Noy, damn.
Van Noy got on the tour.
Yep.
Really? Huh.
Yep. All right, we're gonna rip through the last 3 questions. But Brian, congrats! You are the 3 seed. I will be reaching out to you and Pat to coordinate. Hopefully, we can at least keep it on next Wednesday. But we'll figure it out. Again, everyone else stay posted for scheduling announcements. All right. Spags, your question. Who were the 2 defensive ends on the Patriots all 2000s team?
Chandler Jones.
All 2000s team.
Yeah.
Oh, 2000. Sorry. Thank you.
2000 to 2000. Yeah, 2000, 2009.
Jeez. I can't even think.
Give you like 10 seconds or so. I didn't start the timer anymore, but
no idea. Dude, I can't even think.
Brian, you have a guess?
Got to be. I don't know what they're classifying Willie as though. Is Willie classified as a defensive end?
I was gonna say him or like, yeah.
He is.
No,
Willie
he is not.
He's not. Then Willie McGinn. Then Richard Seymour and Vince Fork.
He would be a defensive tackle.
I was gonna say both of them.
Yeah, Oliver got it. Is Richard Seymour and Ty Warren.
Oh, Ty Warren got on there. Okay.
I was gonna say Seymour, but I didn't like
the positional vary. The position.
Yeah, it's stupid. That was part of it. Part of the reason I asked those because it kind of opens up the pool a little bit more when you're not exactly sure who would classify as what. All right, round 6, career finishing teams. We have a 6-2 score line. I would say you're playing for for points per game, but the regular season's over, so you're playing for pride right now. Spags, you do finish the season winless, but you don't enter the tournament at a disadvantage, except that you have to play Keegan. You get on a run here, you're still the champion. All right, career finishing teams. So Brian, after spending the first 13 seasons of his career in Philadelphia, which team did Brian Dawkins finish his career by playing 3 seasons for?
Oh,
not to throw extra pressure on you, but if you sweep this category, you set the points record for the season for a single game. You've got about 10 seconds.
It's not New Orleans. God dang it. The Falcons.
Final answer. That is incorrect. We won't be seeing a record. You could still tie it in theory. Spags, 10 seconds for the steal.
Was it Tampa?
Final answer.
Yep.
No, wrong conference. It was the Denver Broncos. Had an
that's
all-pro,
right.
had an all, or at least a Pro Bowl. I can't remember if it was a Pro Bowl or All-Pro, but it was at least a Pro Bowl in Denver. Oliver once again got Oliver would be smoking you guys tonight. All right, and then finished us off. Spags, after spending the first 12 seasons of his career in Miami, which team did Zach Thomas finish his career by playing one season for?
The Jets? I don't know.
Final answer.
Yeah.
That is incorrect. Brian, get us out of here.
I'm fairly certain he
Tie the single game record.
I'm fairly certain he played a year in Dallas.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Dallas Cowboys. Brian ties
let's go,
the
baby.
regular season single game points mark. 7-2 final. Brian got off to an early lead and then just maintained it throughout. So Spags, you will be the 4th seed. You'll be taking on Keegan. How do you feel about that? Keegan's been the golden boy. He slipped a little bit, took back the 1 seed last week against Pat. First win of the season against him.
Tough to stay hot.
Upset City.
Upset City.
That's
I'm
all I'm
with it.
saying.
I'm here for it. Brian, you will be matching up against Pat next week. You finished the season 2-5. You appeared the most times. Had a couple heartbreaking losses. You feeling good about Pat? Pat and Keegan were neck and neck. It was kind of neck and neck there. How we feeling?
I'm coming for you, Pat. I know you're watching. I know you're logged on. I'm coming for you, pal.
All right, let's
go.
get out of here. We had our 3 downs. Now we're gonna go punt. Give me a final score prediction for the game on Saturday. Go Brian and Spags.
22-13 Patriots.
Okay, Spags.
They're gonna score points. I'm gonna go 31-24 Patriots.
All right,
I think it'll be a little bit more offense than we think.
I'm terrified. Like I said, I'm gonna go. I'm trying to do math now. I'm gonna go 23-17 Colts. They force a couple turnovers. Michael Pittman has a couple big plays to lead their touchdown drives, and then they get a few field goals. I hope I'm wrong. I can't shake the feeling about this game.
Boo.
Yeah, big boo. I also, fun fact, I'm getting my COVID booster at 8 p.m. on Friday night, so this game might be miserable.
Let's go.
But,
Can't get
all
an appointment around here.
Yeah. All right. Let's. We're going to. Me and Katie are going to Nashville in the beginning of January to visit their friends. So definitely had to get it in before that.
Yeah, boost up.
Yeah. All right. Spags, you're going to be on another show at 7:30. Do you know the name of it?
I don't off the top of my head.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. So Spags will tweet it out. Spags will tweet it out. Check Spags'
Yeah,
Twitter.
I'll retweet it.
Go ahead and watch that at 7:30. I think you said it's on Twitch, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So go ahead and check that out. Otherwise, we'll have a good night. Brian, I'll see you next week. We'll be recapping this game, previewing the second Bills matchup. So that's going to be a big one. Big recap, big preview. Yeah. And then we're going to get into the first semifinal matchup. So we'll see you guys next week. Again, stay tuned for scheduling announcements and have a good night.